Welcome back. There is a live look outside from the Oregon coast, or in its Spanish Head Resort Hotel camera in Lincoln City. Thanks for watching Afternoon Live. A new year often sparks the desire for people to start thinking about reinventing themselves. But what does that mean, and where do we even start? Here to help, we welcome back podcast host and author of Cannonball, Fearlessly Facing Midlife and Beyond, Amy Schmidt. It's so nice to see you.
Great to see you too.
So that word reinvention, it's a big one and it can sound overwhelming. How should we begin to tackle that?
You know what? It's funny, as we go into a new year after the holidays now, we're going to be able to kind of restart and recalibrate. And reinvention is one of those words, but you know what? It takes reflection. So I like that RE part of all of those words. And you know what? A lot of times we think about, there's inspiration all around us and we have these nudges, but we just haven't really taken time to dive in to see what might be next for us and something new in 2025.
So you mentioned that there might be things all around us. Are we just not noticing these little sparks of inspiration that might be kind of manifesting, that we've just got to maybe open our eyes a little bit wider?
Yes, exactly. You know what? It really is the time to raise our hand for ourselves. And what I mean by that is just to say, okay, what kind of has been happening around? Where are our gifts and our strengths? And when we kind of look back at this, say the last year, you think, what have people really noticed about me? What are some things that they've said, wow, Amy, you're really good at this. Have you ever thought about this? Those little nudges. So one of the first tips I have is really looking at and creating something called a highlight reel. And it's not like those highlight reels we see on Instagram, everybody's greatest hits. This is actually taking an inventory, a gift of self-reflection for yourself to look back and say, all right, what have I done? What are my life experiences? So often we undervalue those, or we overlook things that we might have done a decade ago, or maybe even two for some of us that might be, older and getting back into our career or something like that. So take time to really carve out for yourself and look at those experiences, not only the challenges and the successes and the triumphs, but also some of those things that you really had not success with, you really failed. And you look at those things and say, wow, these are life experiences. This is my story. And some of these things I can really kind of look at, niche down, say, I'm good at these things. Maybe this is where this New Year reinvention is going to take me.
Is it hard for a lot of people to give us that grace, that kind of celebrate your own accomplishments? I think I have negative memories stick out so much quicker than positive ones, right?
It is true. And we do tend to do that. We look back and say, oh, remember that time I couldn't figure that out? Those are the things we go to, but those are all part of our story. And we've learned through those experiences. So I think it's also a really good tip, especially when you're going around a reinvention, is asking for help. It's one of those things I talk about often, and we go through life in our journey with something called blind spots. We really do. We stay on this straight and narrow. And so often, one of those blind spots is asking for help, using the resources of our friends, our support network around us. So that's a really nice tip too, for as we go into a reinvention this year. Go to your friends and say, hey, what do you think about this? I'm thinking about doing this, and I could really use your help. Go to somebody that you've admired. Let them know you've admired them and say, you know what? You've run this business so successfully and you're so good at this skill that I need a little help with. Could I set up some time with you? And could you mentor me? Could you coach me a little bit on this? You'll enhance your skill set. You'll navigate these relationships. You'll learn so much about yourself. And that's a really good way of looking at it.
Well, in building on that, you've got to have that learner's mindset, right? Being open to experiencing new things. And we all have to realize we just don't know everything.
Yeah, exactly. Embrace being a novice, right? Learn something new. Engage in a new class. Look at YouTube. There's so many things you can learn with the resources that we have right at our fingertips. So embrace that, challenge being a novice. And even if it's something you've tried before, I can speak from experience of living in another country and trying to learn German. It was such a struggle for me. But now there's a point in my life where I'm like, you know what, maybe I'll go back and try that again. I want to go back and visit and see friends. So maybe I can enhance that skill set a little bit more. So it's never too late and you're never too old to really enhance your skill set and learn something new. Embrace being a novice.
That's wonderful. Okay, we've got about a minute left to talk about maybe an audit of your time and how you're spending your time.
Yeah, we talk about that often, and it's a life audit and a time audit, and really look at the accounts you're following on social media. Take a look and do an inventory and say, wow, is this really bringing me joy? Is this enhancing some of my skills that I want to do as I'm, growing and learning and recalibrating and reinventing in a new way? So take a look how you're investing those 24 hours every day and get rid of or block those negative, accounts that aren't adding value to your life. I think that's a great way to go about stepping into your power as we reinvent in 2025.
Yeah, we've got enough real life problems to stress us out. We don't need more stuff coming our way on social media, that's for sure. Amy, thank you so much. It was great seeing you.
You're welcome. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Amy's book again is Cannonball, Fearlessly Facing Midlife and Beyond. We'll have more information on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.